the fourth chapter from the history side. And before that chapter, already we have covered 3 chapters from the history side. I hope you have covered all 3 chapters and completed your copies. So now we discuss the 4th chapter from the history side. And the name of our chapter is Tribal Society. In this chapter, we will discuss about the tribal society. It means complete lifestyle of the tribal society. So we will discuss their social life, their economic life, and after that what is the effect of the British government on the tribal society, that we will also discuss, and some revolt, that why this tribal society start the revolution against the British government. This all the topic will discover in this chapter. So first of all, we will discuss about the tribal society. So that is, we'll just discuss that tribal it means the people or the group of people, those who are living in a remote areas. We can say that the forest area and the hilly areas, and they are very much far away from us, those who are living in a plain areas. Okay, it means the people, those who are survive in a remote area. So we can say that the another name, that is the Adivasi. Okay, the tribal peoples, we can say that the another name, that is the Adivasi. So first of all, we will discuss about the Adivasi. Adivasi. The word Adivasi is the combination of 2 words. You can see on the board, Adi and Vasi. Okay. Adi means the beginning of the time. Okay. And what is the meaning of Vasi? Vasi means inhabited. So the combined meaning of Adivasi, it means the inhabited since beginning of time. It means they are living on beginning of time or the starting of the time. And if we discuss about the Adivasis, so there are so many tribal communities are there. Okay, like we can say that the example of the Gonds, the Bhils, the Santhals, the Mundas, the Kols. These are the very different types of, we can say that tribal communities are the Adivasis communities, those who are living in our country India. Okay. And they are surviving in different parts of our country India. Some are living in Rajasthan, some are living in Madhya Pradesh also. So in this way we can say that they are living in a different parts of the country, from north to south they are living. Okay. So it means we can say that our country India, it means the government of our country recognized 533 unique tribals are there. Okay. So these are the 533 different types of unique tribal societies, we can say that. So if we discuss about the social life of the tribal people and the economic life of the tribal people, so we can say that this it means since beginning of the time they are living in a remote areas. Okay, so in the remote areas normally they are just doing the shifting cultivation. Sometimes they are just adopt the fishing, and in this type of that work, this particular community will do. It means they are doing for their survival. So now we discuss about their social life. Okay. So if we discuss their social life, so we can say that in their social life, the women, they have a very much powerful. It means we can say that a very dignity-like post. Okay, it means they enjoy the dignity and power. And if we discuss the marriage relation, so they are not doing the marriage relation in their same clone. Okay, and especially women, it means they are not going outside for the work. Okay, because some Adivasis, they are practicing the hunting and gathering also. So women just stay at home only and enjoy their life, and they are just to take care of their family members and their children only. And especially if we talk about their religious custom, so mainly these Adivasis, they are just to practice and they are just worshipping the nature god. Nature god, like they are worship to the natural power, like rain, like forest, because forest they give the food to them, and so many products the forest give to them. So that's why they are also worship to the forest. They are worship to the rain, they are worship to the nature power. Whatever the nature power are there, so they are just worship to the nature power and just worship to the nature god only. Okay. So these are the social life of the tribal peoples. If we discuss their economic life, so in the economic life we can say that for their survival, mostly they are dependent on the agriculture. And in the agriculture, especially they are just to practice the shifting cultivation. So before continuing the chapter, first I will just discuss to you. First I want to just clear the meaning of the shifting cultivation. What is shifting cultivation? Shifting cultivation is a type of agriculture. And in this cultivation, the farmers, it means mainly this tribal groups, they are practice the shifting cultivation. So mainly this tribal society, they in the shifting cultivation, first of all, they are just to clear a patch of land in a forest area. And after cutting all the trees of that particular area, they are just burning them, and whatever the ashes are there, they are just spread the ash all over the ground, and they start cultivation on that particular area. Okay, and it means after their harvesting time is there, after the crop is ripened. Okay, so after cutting them, they just left this area and again shifted to the another area for the same purpose. Okay, so it means they are just shift their field. So that's why it is known there. We can say that the name of this agriculture or cultivation, that is the shifting cultivation. And somewhere it is also called the Jhum cultivation. In your geography part also this term is there, shifting cultivation. Okay, so mainly they are doing the shifting cultivation, and except this shifting cultivation, they are also doing the hunting. Okay, and sometimes they are just doing the fishing also, and sometimes they are just capture the forest product. It means they just collect the forest product, and they are just using the forest product. We can say that for basket making, and in this type of activity they are doing for their we can say that economic purpose. Okay, and with the influence of the plain areas, because soon it means gradually they are also influenced with the lifestyle of the plain area. So after that, they started the relationship. From relationship, it means economic relationship with the people, those who are living in a plain area. So that's why they are just, because they are don't know aware of the money at the time. So they are just starting the barter system with the people, those who are living in a plain area. And in this type of activity, they are just survive. It means they are just enjoy their economic life. So in this topic, I think you have clear about the word of Adivasi and the social life and the economics life. And now we'll just discuss that what is the influence of in their life about when the British government came into the force. Now we discuss the policies of the British towards the tribals. Okay, so in this topic we will see about the policies of the British toward the tribals. Already I have told you that the tribals, they are not only exploited by the British, they are also exploited by the moneylenders. We can say that the Jamidar. Okay, so here we will discuss some points that why, because that how the moneylenders and the British government, how they are just doing the exploitation of the tribal society. Okay, so we can say that this tribal people, because they are enjoying their own culture, they are enjoying and they are just worshipping their own nature god. But then also some moneylenders and we can say that some British government, they are just interfering their life. Okay, it means because of their interference, this tribal society, they are not happy with the interference of the British government, because in this type of interference, the tribal society, they are just lose their power and they are just lose their freedom also. So they are just start the revolution against the British government and the moneylenders. So why? It means how the British government treat to them. So we can say that the British government forced to them to grow only the cash crops. Okay, because already they are living in a remote area and they are enjoying their natural power. They are enjoying their power and they are just enjoy their custom and tradition. But when the British government came into the force and they are just interference in their lifestyle, so at the time the British government forced to them to grow only the cash crop. Okay, and because cash crop like cotton, indigo, because with the help of this cash crops, British government want to increase their income, and they are just we can say that this started the forest law, and according to forest law, because British government don't want that, they are just to start the practice of the shifting cultivation. Okay, so they just stop the practice of the shifting cultivation, and in this way the British government are interferes in their lifestyle. Some of the points in your book will discuss these points. Like already the British government seized their areas, and they are just forced to them to grow only the cash crops, and in the same way their land was sold to the zamindar. It means whatever the area that is captured by the tribal society, the British government forcefully sold their area to the zamindar, and in this type of situation, the zamindar are just taking a high amount of tax, high amount of land revenue from the this type of tribal society. So they are just start to revolt against the British government, and as a result of the land settlement policy introduced by the British claimed the right to be forested area and made use of forest resources for their benefit. It means what the British government want? British government want that whatever the forest product are there, so the tribal people, they cannot utilize this forest product. The British government will use only this forest product, and there are no any rights on the forest product of the tribal society. It means they cannot just take away the forest product, and taxes were levied on the tribal product. Whatever the products they are just produced, so British government imposed the taxes on that particular product, and the tribal retained and were in conflict with the local policy and company official, as they refused to work for the British without being giving any wages. And sometime the British government just start to they just want to that this tribal people will do the work for the British government only, and in a very less amount of wages or no wages. So that's why also they are. This is also the reason we can say that for the revolt. And the new development that is also affected because some type of new development are there, like we can say that the postal service, railway service. In this way, their particular the habitats, it was they are not living in this particular type of habitats, and the tribals of the Jharkhand were forced to cultivate silk cocoons, which were sold at that very high price. It means the British government forced to them to grow or to produce only that particular product, that the desire of the British government only. And in this way, we can say that some other factors like introduction of forest law, exploitation by the money lenders and traders, this and the unavailability of work. This all the factors we can say that for this all factor, the tribal society, they are just start to revolt against the British government. So in this way, we can say that some stages are there. So we will discuss that in which stages they are just start. It means these are the three stages they just revolt. The first one, that is the before the revolt. It means 1857. Okay, it means first stage, that is the before the 1857, and the second stage, that is 1862 1920. It means first stage before the 1857, the second stage, that is 1862 1920, and the third stage, that is 1921 to 1947. So we can say that they are just start the revolt in this three stage. Now one by one we will discuss about the different type of revolution. It means which tribal community start the revolution against the British rule. Now we will discuss the tribal revolt in the Chota Nagpur region. Okay, so in this way, first we will discuss the Santhal rebellion. Santhal rebellion, it means already this tribal society, they are very much suspicious with the British government, because British government along with the money lenders, they are just doing the exploitation of the tribal society. It means they are with the help, we can say that in the Santhal rebellion, the British government forcefully to said to them that they will just start the production of only the silk cocoon, and whatever the desired product of the British government, they start the production of only that particular product. So the Santhal, they start the rebellion and they start the revolt against the British government. In the same way, we discuss about the Munda rebellion. So in the Munda rebellion, we can say that the same way, because they are not happy with the tribal society. They are not happy with the policy of the British government and the moneylenders, because unnecessarily they are just levy the taxes on their product. So that's why they are also start revolt against the British government. So in this way, in your book, one case study is there about the Birsa Munda. So Birsa Munda, there we can say that Birsa Munda, he is also one of the main member of the Munda's family, and he was the son of a very, we can say that poor father family, poor farmer family. In mother, father, his parents, they are very much poor. Okay. So when he go to the school, at the time some of the person, because the member of the British government, they forcefully said to them that you will do only that particular work. So at the time, it means he, in their very young age, he start to revolt against the British government, because he don't want to accept their rules, their policies. So and at the time when the monsoon was failed, and all where the epidemic are there, as one epidemic is spread, and the people, they are just facing the problem of starvation. At the time, the Birsa Munda, with the help of the other member, he just start the revolt against the British government. And the British government, when they see that this particular member is oppressing, so British government, he just captured to the Birsa Munda. So very we can say that very bravely he just fight with the British government. Okay, so this is known as the we can say that the Munda rebellion. In the same way, it means the same way some of the rebellion spread in the south area also, in the north area also. You can see in the book also some of the example you can see in the book. So in this same way, we can say that the people, it means the people, they already enjoyed their life, and when the British government are just interfere in their life, so they are just start the rebellion against the British government. So in the book also you can read some of the topic in the case study of the Birsa Munda. So in this topic we have discussed about the tribal society, their social life, their economic life, and how the British government, it means how they are affected with the British government. That's topic we have discussed. So please go through the topic, and very soon we'll meet again with the next chapter.